We are doing things differently today. First off, my audio might be a little grainy because I am doing an unhinged ad hoc recording in my car right now, next to um, a park that has a lot of music playing. But I thought, you know what? There's just some magic in this moment. It's a beautiful day. It's a Saturday, and well, I shouldn't say it's all magical. I also am just behind on my tasks and projects this week, and so here we are, a little Saturday work. But I wanted to actually take this as an opportunity to do something different and fun, and have a little personal chit chat and catch up since it's just me this week. Audrey, I encouraged her since she hasn't. I don't think she's been taking enough vacation lately. So I said, maybe a month or two ago, I said, I challenge you to take a vacation before the end of Q1. And sure enough, she only has like 2 days left and she's in LA having a fun time right now. And so I'm really, really happy for her. Anyway, since it's an opportunity to do indulge my nature, which is unhinged solo chit chats, that's what I get to do today with you. So I thought I would just share some things that I've been thinking about, and I wonder if any of these might resonate with you or if you have thoughts about them. DM me on Instagram. I've been a lot more active over there recently, Kelsey_the_called_career, and let me know if you resonate with this. But basically, I realize that there's a thought that is very generic that has absolutely gripped me in a new way over the last, I'm not quite sure when it really took over my mind, but maybe 6 months, a year. And it's just that, like, I'm literally so embarrassed to say this. Life is short. Yeah, wow, that sounds so dumb saying out loud. But there is something about it that has hit me in a way that it just never has before. Maybe it's because as many of the major milestones that I expected to hit in my 20s and early 30s have happened, just in terms of like picking a city, finding a career I really love, growing roots in that career and getting more established. I still have so much farther to go, but at least I'm out of the baby steps, and finally getting married and all of this. And I just realized, like, how many more milestones do I have left? I feel like a lot of them just have to do with like growing a family and all that comes with that, which is plenty. But I think it feels like a lot of the milestones that I have a unique opportunity to really go hard on in my single life or in my like married, not yet having the gift of children, which, guys, we're trying. If y'all would pray for us, I would really appreciate it. It's actually been um a year and 3 months, I guess. Oops. Okay, of course, as I was sharing something quite vulnerable, I like accidentally hit the off button and stopped recording. But anyway, yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to starting a family, and waiting with joy and anticipation for that. But as the opportunity of feeling like I have a lot of command over my time and focus to just be on career and other things, I just feel like those days are coming, like a change is coming. And it has made me go on kind of like a mad dash for trying to play bigger and achieve more things in my career, with a lot of frustration, because I realize that just increasing effort or intention or imagination doesn't mean that the results don't take their own time to come in. So I think I've been frustrated, and kind of, I don't know, thinking bigger and wanting more, which is always kind of a dangerous place for me. I feel like I'm already a person that wants a lot and dreams a lot. So I kind of feel like I need to tell myself to calm down a little bit. But I do feel very grateful that this, I guess, movement of the knowledge that life is short, going from my head to like my heart, I am grateful that that has happened, because I think beyond like maybe at times wanting too much and that causing discontentment, I do think that it is good that I think I've just seen so many things on social media lately where people are like, hey, don't worry, you have forever. Life is basically just getting started when you're 30 or in your 40s. And I'm just like, where the frick are you getting your information from? Like, I'm not guaranteed another day. Also, like, I do not believe it is a functional belief to think that there's like freebie years where, or like years or even a whole decade of your 20s that it's just up for farting around or slacking off, or I really, really firmly believe in being gracious and gentle with yourself in the ways that is needed. But at the same time, I think that I have a strong desire to balance that with a humility and a lack of entitlement to think that I just have so much time left, or that hopefully I have, Lord willing, a long and fruitful life and career and all of that. But who's to say I won't look up at, I think I've just seen too much. I've worked with too many 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds through our career coaching practice that are like, wow, I wish I did more when I was younger. And I've been in so many of those conversations and so many tearful awakening moments where people are like, I wish I just went for it, or I wish I tried to figure all this out sooner. That I just don't feel like I know too much. I know too much. And so if that is just the God honest truth that many of the people I've had the privilege of walking alongside have shown me, and I've started to feel myself, I hope in some way that can be helpful for me to just share with you, because I do feel like I'm in a very, very unique position where I get to see people through the behind the scenes, like gritty reality of making career changes and discerning what they feel called to do and going for it with all that they've got, and having that be subject to the Dunning-Kruger effect. If you Google the Dunning-Kruger effect, this is the graph that we all find ourselves on. We start something with naive ambition, and we reach what's called the amount of peak stupid, basically, where your ambition, your enthusiasm and confidence is at its highest, but your competence and wisdom for what you're setting out on and level of experience and knowledge is at its lowest. And then the natural progression is, as you really get started, you realize, oh, this is harder than I thought. Or, wow, things just got real. This is still worth it to me. I'm still going to do it, but it's hard. And that's where your knowledge starts to slowly creep up, and it moderately goes up over time, and your confidence slowly starts to make a rebound as well, but it takes a good amount of time and, I guess, trust and patience to rebound. And then as time and practice goes on, the end of the Dunning-Kruger effect shows that you basically achieve modest expert status. I can't remember exactly what it's called, where you're a genuine expert and you know what you're doing and things are going well. But since you have seen the reality of life, you're like, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that there's so much I don't know and I'm still a low-grade idiot. And so your confidence is actually still moderate, even though your expertise is highest. And so anyway, I've seen people go through that emotional wave and very much experienced it myself. All to say, I've watched people start with a tremendous amount of hope and excitement, realize that stuff gets hard, and then like with they reach this like mature temperance where they're like, wow, that I'm so grateful I did that. My career change is complete. I'm so grateful and over the moon, yet still I know that this much more fulfilling path will still require things of me. And there's just less naivete. But naiveness is so fun. Oh my gosh. It's like my favorite thing in life. But as you're hearing from this message from sweaty, low audio quality me over here in my car, is that I guess I'm in the middle of that graph of realizing my experience has grown over the last, I guess I'm about to hit, at the middle of next month, the 7-year anniversary since quitting my tech consulting job and starting the calls career, which is just amazing that the Lord has brought me through it to this point. He is the only reason that I feel like he just like gave a special grace that cannot be explained except for him, that made me never think to quit, like, and always gave me the encouragement I needed day by day. And many days it felt like not just daily bread, but like hourly bread. And I'm so grateful to the Lord for that. But I think I'm just hitting this middle point where I'm like, okay, there's still a long path ahead. I'm very much like still in the early mid stage of my career. And I want to do so many more things. And I just realized that time is short and I'm guaranteed nothing and the world owes me nothing. So that has just gotten me working a lot harder lately. And I would say overall, I'm, like I've said, so grateful. And it's also been fun. I don't want to say that this has only been like a terrorizing realization of like really, really starting to grasp this concept, but it's also been so fun because I just have so much less insecurity or what's the opposite of inhibitions? I don't know, like hang-ups that stop me from taking a thought into action. And I'm so grateful for that. Like, I think that it's just a special kind of misery to be in the earlier stages where you're so unsure of yourself and what you're doing that you have to think about something forever before taking a first step. And now I'm just like, I think and I act. I could probably use a slowdown, actually. I do feel like I've definitely made some mistakes in the last year or two, particularly from just jumping on things too quickly. But I, all in all, would rather have a bias to that than to sit back and think, God and the world owes me so much time. I'm owed the ability to just be comfortable in every way all the time and good stuff will just come to me. I feel my responsibility to jump and to push now. And just because I know that when I'm, Lord willing, 80 or 90, or who knows how long humans are going to live by the time I get there, I know I really do not think I will be comforted in one single bit by the thought of, oh, well, all that was really uncomfortable, so I'm glad I took a break. Or I'm glad I played small. I'm glad I prioritized my desire to not be embarrassed, or basically just to acquiesce to fear-based values, like avoidance-based decisions. I heard it said, you could either have your reasons or you could have your results. Like your reasons for not doing something, your reasons for slacking off. And I think I'm just in a big era of like, at the end of my life, my reasons will not comfort me. Only my results will. And maybe this is starting to sound like a little maniacal, like, good Lord, lady, this is probably why you haven't conceived yet. You probably need to... Can I just say right now, if one more person tells me, oh, well, have you ever heard that when people aren't stressed, like, they go on a vacation, that's when they finally have a baby? I'm like, start running. Literally, you should fear for your life. If one more person tells me that, like, and by the way, I'm not even stressed about it. Like, I'm like, it'll happen. I'm taking proactive steps. I'm caring for my health. I'm learning about fertility, and I think more of my like push energy is really just about like enjoying that time that I have to focus on my career right now. But yeah, anyway, I just want to, if anyone else has been subject to all of that, and by the way, if anyone else has been on a trying to conceive journey, and like, what are the crazy things that you really wanted people to stop telling you? Mainly, I just want people to stop telling me that, like, I don't know, relax. I am relaxed. I'm kidding. Can you tell that I'm not? But basically, even that has been like a whole life lesson. To go into a part 2 of personal chitchat, I realize that now that I have been humbled in this way, like conceiving has not been as easy as they made it seem in high school. Well, I'm also not high school aged, but I've been so humbled by that because I realized that when I watched other people, or I meet other people with problems like this, I just assume it's their fault, honestly. Like, I've really, really dug into my internal reactions and been honest, and I realized that in order to comfort myself that, like, oh, I won't suffer like them, I assume that, oh, they probably haven't been to doctors, they're probably not taking care of their health, they probably don't listen to podcasts, there's something that they could be doing, and if they show that, like, they're doing all those other things, oh, well, they're probably just stressed and have a terrible mindset about it, and if they just went on vacation, it would all be fine. I've noticed a proclivity to really oversimplify and provide, and this I think is like undignifying to other people's struggles, to oversimplify the solutions for them, or to assume that they're just not doing something right. And I think that's humbled me a lot, of like, wow, yeah, like, people could be doing everything right and still have a hard time. And I guess I've really realized that since I've been on the receiving end of like a lot of kind of offensive advice lately. And so if people have done that to you in maybe your career journey, like, oh, well, why don't you just, you're unhappy in your job, why don't you just go out and apply for more? Okay, it's hard right now, like, it's a tough market out there. Why don't you just, like, watch this YouTube video and it'll all be fine? Why don't you just do something that you love? Or they'll just tell you some unhelpful quip about like, well, in the 70s, we didn't have to worry about all that. And you're like, thanks, Karen. I have to worry about it right now. And by the way, I'm so sorry for any Karens out there that your name has been taken over. I have a dear Aunt Karen, and every time I say that, I'm like, Kelsey, you should really stop saying the Karen joke. Anyway, but yeah, I think I'm really grateful for the work that the Lord is doing in my heart by through some difficulty, humbling me to realize that like everything that is good basically is a miracle from God, including any steps forward and steps backward that have happened in my business, in my career, that have grown my character, including God's reasons and whatever complex tapestry of God's handiwork behind the scenes is going on in my desire to grow a family. I just really feel so humbled that like, even if I could understand why everything the way it is, even if God himself sat me down and said, this, and this is going to happen, and this is why, and here's the reasons why everything has worked out in your life the way it has thus far in the past, I don't think I'd be able to understand it. I just really firmly believe I am a human with a finite mind that cannot understand God's infinite wisdom and mystery in the way he works all things to our good, for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose, like it says in Romans 8:28. And I feel really humbled by Ecclesiastes 11, verses 1 through 6. I think it's like verse 5 or something. It says, you don't know what's going to work out, for you do not know how a child is formed in its mother's womb, or you don't know whether this or that will work out. So just don't let your hands be idle, but rather get to work. Like, definitely read Ecclesiastes 11 verses 1 through 6 for the full context there. But I hope to land this plane and close this message with saying, I'm, like I've said, grateful for the realizations that are coming to me now. And I pray and I trust that God, well, I'm just asking him to help me navigate the weight of realizing life is short and the weight of realizing I'm owed nothing, and most things are more complicated than I ever thought, and other people haven't achieved the things that I'm trying for. And it's not because they're dumb, it's maybe just because life is too complicated and we're all at the mercy of God's grace here. And I'm trying to handle the weight of that realization with wisdom, by focusing on the message in Ecclesiastes 11, which is just to say, you have no idea. Even if I explained it to you, you would not understand. So all you can do is just don't let your hands be idle. Do your best. Get to work, and you have to trust God with the rest. Like the verse 1 is like, invest in 7 ships, no 8, for you don't know which one may bring a return. And so that is the God honest truth, and I pray that helps us all grow in wisdom. And I hope that this is all what God means in the Psalms by, I don't remember the particular verse, but it says, Lord, teach me to count my days so I may grow in wisdom. Something along those lines. And so I think it's a really, really good thing. I know it is, according to the scriptures, to number our days. And I pray that the Lord helps me and helps you not let that be a realization that makes us frantic and fearful, because we're definitely not supposed to fear. And I'm definitely not encouraging a scarcity mindset here. I'm like, God giving the command, fear not, is by some calculations, the most repeated command in the Bible. And so I pray that the Lord helps me and you not give in to fear of our days being numbered, but just to get up and do our best, work as if everything is up to us, and sleep as if everything is up to God. That's the phrase that I've just come up with to repeat to myself every day. And so I pray that this helps you. And I wonder if what you think of this. Feel free to message me on Instagram, Kelsey_the_call-to-career. And if you're kind of swimming in some of these thoughts right now, I just wanted to share that you have a friend. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next week for a more hinged, less unhinged episode with my normal mic when I'm not sweating in a car, and Audrey to keep me on track. Okay, love you guys. Bye. Thanks for listening to today's episode. To get an even more meaningful head start into your calling, head to thecalledcareer.com, where my fellow career coach Audrey and I have created a whole suite of free resources and tools to help you get clear and get a job today. For those who are definitely ready to land a job or start a business in the next 6 to 12 months, we're here to help you biblically and practically discern your calling through coaching, reflection, and deep market research. Identify the job that's aligned with it, even if you currently have no idea what you want. Rebrand your resume and LinkedIn to translate your background to appeal to your future boss. P.S. We take this off your plate and do this for you. Also, we'll teach you how to land referrals and get attention from leadership through networking. Again, if that makes you nervous, we have these emails and LinkedIn messages literally written for you so you don't have to sweat. We're also here to give you unlimited interview practice so you're prepared to address every elephant in the room and knock selling yourself out of the park. Then we'll round out with helping you negotiate your salary so you land thousands more. Just so you know, recent clients have gotten $8,000 to $50,000 salary increases, even though they were totally non-traditional candidates. That's because we specialize in helping non-traditional career pivoters land jobs they're ecstatic to serve in. It takes work, but we're here to see you through until the end, when we're celebrating that day that you send me an email in all caps and you say, Kelsey, I got the job. Then you could be on the podcast. But I'll be here until then, keeping you accountable and encouraged by meeting with you literally until you land the job you want, even if that's up to 6 months from now within our program. Apply to join at thecalledcareer.com, and I'll see you next week here at Answer the Call. Bye for now.